Sitting here in the Tennessee dugouts, three pitchers, a combined 26-3 record from last season. Chase Burns, Chase Dollander, and Drew Beam. Talking a little fall ball here. Tennessee ramps up the practice schedule ahead of the new season come spring. Guys, how we doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Awesome.
Hey, you guys are getting into practice right now. Some new faces, some old faces are gone. Chase, we'll start with you, man. How's the feel in that locker room right now?
Honestly, it's amazing just to be back here with a bunch of new guys, new faces, especially seeing these two. So the atmosphere has been great so far.
New personalities in the locker room, Chase. Dollander, I feel like everybody adds a new flavor, just adds something new to the group.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see kind of all the guys just gel together and be a team as quick as we did. We do a lot of different things in the locker room, like play some games and stuff like that, just kind of be more of a team. And it's been really cool to see all those guys just kind of fit in the way that they have.
Drew, being a freshman last year, you didn't have time to wait around and kind of watch. You were thrust into action. With some of these leaders like Russell and Beck and some of those guys gone now, Gilbert, of course. Do you feel like you got to step up and be one of the key guys, not only on the field but also in the locker room?
Yeah, I think leadership isn't really appointed. I think it just happens. So leaders are built all over the place, but new guys coming in just adds added competition. A new level of competition among everybody, and it's fun to compete like that.
All right, obviously, we got these three guys here for a reason because they're fantastic on the field. All three of you brand new to Rocky Top a season ago. Burns, you were a Friday night starter, a true freshman stepping up. That experience, kind of how did that go for you?
I mean, honestly, I had no idea that I'd be put in that spot as a freshman, but grabbing that opportunity was huge for me, and I thought it made me a better player and a better person.
And Drew, I feel like you and Chase were all you guys kind of competing all season long as the two freshmen. Same with you. That number 3 starter, and I had a couple different roles throughout the season. Was it ever overwhelming at times?
Not really. It was cool to watch these two guys compete the 2 days before me, and honestly, we were all rooting for each other, competing against each other, and I think it made us all better throughout the season.
A little bit of a different path for you, Chase. Dollander, you came in as a transfer, but you were off and running. You're one of the best pitchers. At points at times, I think all three of you could make the argument here, but one of the best pitchers in college baseball at points at times last season. What clicked for you here with Frank Anderson and Tony Vitello?
Just the trust factor that they have with us. They allow us to kind of call our games the way we want to call them. Obviously, Coach A does give the signs and stuff like that, but we have the freedom to change it up and stuff like that. But along with that kind of goes mentality. I kind of switched my mentality to, I've said this plenty of times, that here it is, you can't hit it. And that just really worked for me, so I threw a lot of strikes, attacked hitters the way I could, and that's just kind of how I got my success.
Now, growing up, still to this day, I'm a huge Braves fan. Back in the heyday, it was a little difficult because I was so young, but Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, Greg Maddux. I'm not trying to put you guys on that path, but the three of you, that competition, I feel like every single day you're trying to one-up one another.
Yeah.
Was it like that last year, trying to one-up one another each and every day?
We always have this healthy competition between the three of us. We never really get in each other's faces and get mad at each other, but it's more like picking each other up and doing what we can for the team. But like he said, the competition between us is there for sure, and it just kind of makes us better players and better people.
There's some smack talking in that dugout in the locker room. Of the three of you, who's the biggest smack talker?
Burns, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Why you? What is that about your personality, your game, that kind of gives you that edge?
I think just having fun with it. Anything we do, pretty much us three are together, whether it's running, PFPs, or lifting. So if one beats one another, just to have some fun and have some competition, just to talk a little bit of smack or make fun of each other, it brings us closer together.
Now, is it just with you guys, or is it branch out to the opposing team?
I think,
sometimes it's okay to say sometimes.
I think
it can branch out to the opposing team sometimes.
But I think the pitchers, especially us three, knowing their personalities, we kind of keep to ourselves more, especially in game time. But definitely in practice, stuff like that, we'll get after each other.
Yeah.
Kind of on that note, Drew, no secret about it. Tennessee baseball, since Tony Vitello's been here, your heart's on your sleeve. You play an emotional game. You let the kids play, right?
For sure.
How fun is that to play for a program that lets you just be you and go out there and show some personality?
Well, it's definitely easy to play whenever your coach would go to war for you. Everybody in your dugout's going to go to war for you as well. So you just kind of play how you play and play with your own personality. You don't have to, you don't have to conform to one personality. Our team was built up of multiple personalities, so it's really easy and nice to conform to one way and all work in the same direction, but all have different personalities doing that same thing.
Playing for Tony Vitello and Frank Anderson, obviously it's been working for you guys, throughout your college careers, early on here. What's that like? What do they do that maybe is different than some other coaches you may have had, or why did you choose to come here with those guys compared to the other offers that you had? Any of you guys can answer that.
I know for me personally, it was, you could really tell that this was a big family, and all the coaches had each other's backs no matter what. I mean, when I took my visit, they kind of just laid it out on the line for me, and we're just like, this is how it's going to be, and we're not going to waver from it. And so, I mean, and then also it goes along with how people say that Coach V is a player's coach. That's 100% true. He'll do anything for us, anything he can, anything in his power he'll do for us. So I mean, that just kind of makes it a lot more fun to play.
Who do you not want to get on their bad side more, Tony Vitello or Frank Anderson?
I would have to say Frank. He's sneaky, but you get on his bad side, especially the umpires or maybe us on the mound, if we don't believe in the pitch and he does and we shake or something like that, he'll let you know in the dugout. So definitely Coach A.
Yeah, I'm seconding that.
And I feel like he will be the first one to come out and have your back, Drew. I mean, we saw it plenty of times, a couple times last year. If he doesn't like something, if he thinks one of you guys or any pitcher for that regard is being taken advantage of or not having a consistent zone, I feel like Frank's the first one in battle.
100%, yeah.
I mean, you can go back to the Alabama game when I got hit.
Exactly. That's kind of what brought on that question.
Yeah.
For you guys, obviously high expectations personally. You dealt with those last year. For you guys, the freshmen, Chase and Drew, you went from a role to where you were starting, and then to manage your innings, you points and times y'all did some bullpen work. Dolander for you coming in new and dealing with that injury, but all you guys were so successful. How did you kind of deal with that personal success, knowing how important it was, obviously, for the team's success?
I think it just goes back to all of our personalities just wanting to win, all having the same goal. No matter what role we're put in or if he's injured, he's trying his hardest to come back for the team. So,
along with that, you kind of just trust the process. You trust in the work that you put in the week before, and you just go out and do it. I mean, that's really all you can do. You can't really think about too much. Can't put too much emphasis on one game or another. You just kind of prepare that week for your start, and then once you're there, you're there. You just kind of have to go out and compete.
Yeah, bouncing off what he said, just kind of silencing the outside noise. Just focusing week by week. Not remembering what happened last week. Clearing it and getting on to the next outing. So just focusing on week by week is definitely something that helps us all.
So much talent, and you guys were so good. I know we're looking ahead, but you guys were so good last year as a team. In the moment when you're going through that 24-game win streak, when you're number one in the country, when all these talking heads are saying how you guys are potentially the best college baseball team ever, living in that moment, how was that, Chase?
It was awesome. I had to stop and think about it. I had to delete some social media, some Twitter, stuff like that, just because they were talking about it so much. But to be in that opportunity and that place of time is just really cool.
And finally, Chase, for next season, obviously no one likes the way last season ended.
Right.
I would imagine the hunger is there.
Yeah.
And Drew, you can add on this. The motivation, if you need it anymore, is there for next season. How's this off season been in that regard?
I'll take this one. So yeah, I mean, no one likes the way we ended last year. Everyone wants to do it differently this year. So every day is a competition. Q says it best: 1% better every day. Just getting out here and working our tail off to better ourselves for next year.
Who is a pitcher that we don't know about right now that we're gonna know come springtime?
Andrew Lindsay.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna be a really good guy for us. Him, and I feel like I've always said this, AJ Russell too, who's a new freshman. He's gonna be pretty good too. So just keep an eye out for those names.
Then I think Halverson will resurface. He had his injuries last year, but he works hard as anybody. So I think he'll resurface as well.
I'm gonna say Zach Joyce. I mean,
there we go.
That's a name everybody knows.
Oh yeah. I mean, literally is his brother just another version of him. So just be ready for him.
Obviously, it takes a village, but these three guys are going to lead that family, lead that group out on the mound next year. Chase Burns, Chase Dolander, and Drew Beam, Tennessee pitchers, here as we begin fall ball Tennessee baseball.